Namaskar to all our parents and everyone who is watching the episode. As we all know, we are in the month of August and soon we will be celebrating our Independence Day. As time is passing by, the geopolitical influence of India is rising. We are the third largest economy, we are the most populous nation in the world, and we are a humongous military power with nuclear capabilities. What India thinks, what India does, whom India supports matters to the world. Recently, we have seen Russia and America trying to woo India to be on their side regarding the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Yet, India has been pursuing a bold and independent foreign policy suiting her own interest. To talk about India's stance on Russia-Ukraine war, we have Aman Sheikh from Stage 9. Welcome Aman, welcome to our show. Please sit down. So Aman, let's start our discussion. Can you please introduce your topic in brief?
The Russia-Ukraine war is my topic. It's an ongoing geopolitical conflict occurring in Eastern Europe. So what is happening is there's a war between these two countries, Russia and Ukraine, on the pretense of land encroachment over soil.
Okay Aman, you have chosen a very nice topic. So tell me, according to your understanding, what is India's position? Has India condemned Russia yet?
So India has maintained a neutral stance and has asked that we want peace. And it has not directly condemned Russia for what it's had done.
Yes, Aman, you very rightly said that India has not condemned Russia yet and has maintained a neutral position. But as a result of this conflict, many lives are getting affected. There is a food shortage, fuel shortage. Even in India, the prices of fuel has gone up. So don't you think that India should condemn Russia?
So should India condemn Russia? I'm not sure, because we have to take many different foreign policies into account before we can directly condemn a country. It's not as easy for the public to say it as it is for the government. So what we must do is just take into account what are the factors. One, India and Russia are both part of a developing countries association, BRICS. India is highly dependent on Russia for energy and weapons. And also, India has had past ties with the Soviet Union and Russia as well. So we can find that India is having many ties with Russia and it can go out and directly condemn Russia as to maintain its diplomacy. Another factor that we have to take into account is the United States' presence over this topic. So the United States are supporting Ukraine in direct opposition of Russia. So what that means is that India has to maintain ties with the United States and Russia simultaneously, but make sure not to sour relations with either of them. The problem is India's relations with the United States are already slightly sour. India has faced attacks by US-funded militia and armies as well as United States-funded weapons, which has given the public a rather not great opinion on the United States as well as to the government. So India has to maintain its neutrality here.
Yes, Aman, you raised very good points. Like India is dependent on Russia for weapons. Most of our weapons comes from Russia, and US has not been a very good friend to us in the 70s, 80s and 90s. Recently only we did establish a good relations with the USA. But still, won't it make India look like a selfish country? Like we are not condemning the war, we are not condemning the atrocities done by Russia. Won't it make us look like a selfish country?
Yes, I think it actually may, but we have to remember that India is a country that has the most population in the world, so it has to look after the welfare of its own people before jumping into different foreign issues like these wars and whatnot. Yes, foreign policy is very important, but what's happening back at home is just as important as well. So, though it may make us look like a selfish country, we are not exactly being really selfish. We are sending humanitarian aid to Ukraine and that's it.
So in conclusion, I would like to ask you, Aman, you support India's position?
Yes, I support India's stance on this subject because India has many factors to think about and India's neutrality on this subject is very important to the country as well. India wants peace, not war. This is further strengthened when our Prime Minister has said to the President of Russia, Mr. Putin, that this is not an era of war. So India is against war and it wants to make sure that such wars are not occurring and it wants peace.
Aman, you mentioned about the quote, this is not an era of war, but with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. That quote also have been echoed by many other leaders, including that of South Africa, I guess. So, thank you for joining our show. And thank you to the audience for joining our show. I hope you have enjoyed watching Sloka Satymevjayate.